I'm sitting here today during the recording of the 24th edition of the Flat Earth Fail compilation, knowing that almost 100 Flat Earth Fail videos have been bought before you since its inception. 2.5 years their fails have been on record, yet they still continue to fail in a monumental way. This is the Flat Earth Fail compilation 24. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin, a quick nod and thank you to the sponsors of today's video, Surfshark VPN. Surfshark is a VPN service that makes online privacy protection easy and attainable, encrypting all internet traffic sent to and from your devices and ensuring that your IP address remains hidden to make sure that no one can see what you're doing online. On top of that, they block ads, trackers, malware, and phishing attempts, and unlike other VPN services, you can use it on as many devices as you like simultaneously. Listen, I'm a YouTuber now, so I spend a huge amount of time online, up to 6 to 8 hours per day. The internet knows a lot about us, which is why we should care about our online data. Have you ever seen an ad or banner that brings a feeling to mind that someone is reading your mind or listening in on your conversations? This is how your online data is being used against you. You can use Surfshark to become resistant to this kind of targeted advertising. Click on the link in the description or visit surfshark.deal/SimonDan and use my code SimonDan to get a whopping 83% off and 3 months extra free. Right, back to the Flat Earth Fail compilation, and it starts with the king of fails himself, Mr. Bob Nodell.
A 15-degree-per-hour drift.
Thanks, Bob. You are going to love this one. It all started when Taboo Conspiracy made a response to the catfishing video that I released a few weeks ago. Bob and co decided to address this video in one of their live streams. Let's check it out, shall we?
But I'm just going to share a segment of his video, and you can see his admitted lies for yourself from his own mouth.
Well, I think it's quite obvious to me that Taboo Conspiracy loves an email or two. But I wanted to know if he'd learnt his lesson. So I emailed him. Now, this is from someone who I named Hoagie Tablers. Pay close attention to and remember that name, Hoagie Tablers.
Now, by the way, guys, I got an email from that same person with a different story. So he's trying to do it to me as well. And of course, I have to wonder, now at this point about Dave's guy. But of course, that's the whole point of all this, right? But anyway, let me play a couple more minutes of this and then we'll talk this out.
Oh no, he's rumbled me. What an absolute bummer. Let's skip to the end of this bit and see what Bob has to say.
This is absolutely unbelievable that they actually go to this level to write letters, pretending to be someone that they are not. And of course, obviously the agenda behind it is to get us to doubt anybody that could be potentially a legitimate whistleblower, like the F-16 pilot.
No, that's just a bonus. The agenda behind all this is quite simple. To show how thorough you flat earthers are, when you get an email that backs all the beliefs that you hold. No research is done on any of it before going ahead and spreading that information. It's what you wanted to hear, so you ran with it. This was the whole point, to expose you all for the charlatans that you are. And it worked.
Or any of the other subject matter experts that have come forward, anything like that. It's just unbelievable how despicable they are. And this is something that we really want outsiders to take notice of.
As do we, because I can assure you, despite the necessary deception from our part, the job was done in exposing Flat Earth.
If Flat Earth is so stupid and so utterly ridiculous that, you have to be a complete moron to buy into it, then why is there such an incredibly concerted effort to discredit us in the most dishonest of ways, instead of simply beating our arguments, with sound arguments? They have none.
Is that a joke, Bob? We debunk you with sound arguments on a weekly basis. Heck, you even debunked yourself.
a 15 degree per hour drift.
But you never accept this. Besides, this way was more fun.
And that is the true, that's the true thing about this whole flat Earth story is there, we have all of the evidence as far as I'm concerned.
You mean evidence like this?
A 15 degree per hour drift.
Thanks, Bob. Oh, and evidence like this.
We don't see you, Enrique. Lift up your light way above your head. Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
The ball Earth, we can debunk just about every part of it with no problem. In the flat Earth, even though there are some things that may be difficult to explain or may take a little bit more creative explanations.
So you make stuff up.
Or a little more technical understanding. In understanding, nevertheless, we still have put together a somewhat coherent model that is absolutely viable.
It really, really isn't. But you know what, Bob? I'm willing to sit down with you for an hour, 90 minutes, and go through every single concern I have with any model that you wish to present. But anyway, Bob said in that clip that he received an email from my old friend Hoagie Tablers. Now, what he didn't say though is how he replied to that email, taking everything seriously. Take a look at this. To Bob. How are you doing, Bob? I hope you're well. I'm a big fan of the channel. An idea had recently come to me about some flat earth proof which I need some help with. Now, we all know that the debunkers can't account for curvature, ever. Knowing that, I want to propose an observation to end all observations, specifically an extremely powerful laser test over a stretch of water. Before I go into more detail, I thought you should know that I can absolutely fund all of this. Other activities in my life have led to a very decent wealth accumulation, but I don't have the expertise to implement the experiment, which is why I've come to you. Have a think and get back to me when you can. After a few days, I'll email you more information about potential locations, etc. Best, Abel. And this was Bob's response. Hello, Abel. I am open to listening to any observation, especially if you are willing to finance it. Good laser equipment is very costly, but is necessary for good observations. So, what is your proposal? I have several bodies of water all around me, including an ocean just a few hours away. We also have mountains overlooking these bodies of water, so where I live is ideal for experiments. Thanks, Bob. What Bob failed to pick up though is if you take the first letter from every single line of the email, it spells thanks, Bob. Dear oh dear, Bob, that is a monumental fail, isn't it? And worthy to be included in the Flat Earth Fail compilation. Right, next up we've got our old friend Flat Earth Banjo, who's highlighting a conversation about flight paths from DITRH channel owner David Weiss. Let's take a look, shall we?
Okay, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because when we went from Perth to LA, when we were looking at like during deep into the night or whatever, when we were looking at the flight, we went over and Alaska and Seattle. Like we
perfect. Okay, look, check this out. So Perth is over here. So
yes.
So you went over Alaska, but why didn't you just go here? Right. So here's a shot from Taiwan to LA. Alaska's up here. Right?
Yeah, I think we might have stopped in Malaysia. Is that near Taiwan?
Okay, let's take a look at a normal map, shall we? So, the flight was not a direct one. What a surprise. Flight paths generally follow great circles around the globe, but if we take a look at the route between Taiwan and LA on a flat map, it looks like this. Now, that's obviously because the Earth is spherical, because when we look at the route on a globe,
so let me show you. Watch. So there were here's Hawaii. Right here, there was a medical emergency. Someone had a heart attack or a baby or something, and they had to land. So if you're a pilot, you'd probably land in Hawaii or continue over here. Maybe you go back. I doubt it. But instead, they went up to Alaska. Why the hell did they go to Alaska?
Because if you look at that direct route on a globe, Alaska is very, very close.
Here's why. Because this is where they were going. They were coming, boom, emergency, Alaska. Hawaii is all the way out here.
That doesn't work with a sphere?
Yes, like I just showed.
No, this is what the sphere looks like. This is the sphere. But this is, flying from Perth you think you would be the straightest route would be here, but when you look at it, you come from over here, bam,
Okay, yep.
boom, Alaska, LA. It's a straight line.
It's a great circle on a globe.
Yeah, that's
Airplanes
wild. That is
fly
wild.
over
Craig,
the
Craig,
plane. There's a book called 16 Emergency Landings That Prove Flat Earth. Every single one of them makes 0 sense on a ball, and they only make sense on a flat Earth. And emergency landings screw them up. NASA, the liars at NASA, are in charge of all GPS, in charge of all radar, and in charge of all flight routes, okay? So they're hiding what's going on.
I'm going to get that book and debunk every single thing in it.
Some pilots know. We know lots of pilots that know. The Qantas pilots, they all know, but they don't talk about it publicly. We've talked to pilots, and they've been fired the next day for talking to us, saying that the Earth is flat. So the spin of the Earth, so that's my favorite. And try to wrap your mind around this, right? So at the equator, the Earth is spinning.
Yeah, no amount of epic music is going to help you here, Banjo. What is clear is that no flat earther understands flight paths or great circles. Another one for the Flat Earth Fail Bank. Okay, next up we have Mr. Westchester County himself, Mr. CC from New York. Away you go, my friend.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris. From New York, Westchester County. It's a 425, 2021. I want you to take a look at something here. See this tripod? It's crap. Okay. I just ordered one.
Okay, CC. Thanks for the review, matey.
A really good one. It's $300. But we're going to have to deal with it. For now. And you see that?
Yay, the moon!
Apparently today it's the rose full moon. So, happy Rose Day? Who knows? Alright, let's check it out. Oh. Alright, this is really difficult to do. There she is. Very nice. 1, 4, 2. Yeah, I mean, we can do all the exposures here, but hold on. Let's back it down. Let's back it down to a minimum. Let's keep that in the background. Okay.
He loves those dramatic long pauses, doesn't he, CC?
I have to keep it down to a minimum. Alright, so let's just do a little recap on the garden here. Chives, oregano, parsley. I don't know what the that is, but it keeps growing every year. Who cares? And we got many trees. Got a fig plant over there. That's a new addition.
What is this? Garden time with CC?
Oh, check this out. This is really neat. We still have a pumpkin. This is a rose bush. This is really neat. I just replanted it, so it doesn't look good right now, but it'll, you know, it'll do what it has to do. Let me find a place that I can... Like a magnetic thing here. Damn it. No, it's not. Nothing. Okay. Alright, so...
What is he doing?
I'm going to upload the video for you, and I just want to let you know that here it is. That's the moon. Full.
Thanks for that, CC. Appreciate it. Are you now so fed up with Flat Earth that you're putting all your time and effort into moon gazing and balcony gardening?
268,000 miles away. Oh my gosh. Is it really that far away? Damn it. I don't know how the camera should go. Oh, this is it come out all up. But it's all right. 268,000 miles away. It looks solid.
That's because it is CC.
But it's not.
Ah, okay, maybe he is still banging on about it.
It emits cold. Why wouldn't it?
It doesn't emit anything. It reflects sunlight.
All right, look, all right, have a good night. Thank you for subbing, and thank you for being my channel. Let me be a part of your life.
Is that it? What in the blue blazers was the point of that video? 6,000 fail points, CC. Okay, our final flat earth fail comes from the debate between Ranty, one of the Globe's new boys, and apparently one of flat earth's best debaters, Brian's logic. Let's join them deep in debate when Brian is about to explain to Ranty the phenomenon of optical drop. Brian is using optical drop as a way to discredit Ranty's Blackpool Tower photo. Let's remember that in that picture, Blackpool Tower is 19 kilometres away from the observer, and the mountains behind are 80 kilometres away from the observer as well.
No, I can put it on there too. Oh no, you should be still sharing.
No, I mean, should I share your screen now? Should I share your screen now? Yeah.
Yes, you can go ahead there, Katz.
Done.
Okay, so I'm presenting at the moment, yes?
Yes, you are, yeah.
Okay, this is just... Okay, no worries. This is just going to be a quick demonstration of the effect of visual occultation, also known as photographic occultation. I'm going to just show it here, and then I'm going to show some other stuff with this, okay? So here, I'm going to move back this red can, and as I move it back, you can see that it's occulted by the smaller object in the foreground, but the object in the foreground is higher than the camera.
Also, the pepper pot is right next to the camera, so why wouldn't it block anything behind it?
So as it goes back, it occults. It's been occulted by the. When I move it with the pepper, when I move the pepper, you can see that the pepper appears higher, but it's not. It's just a change of angular size with distance. It's not actually higher, but it's not even just that. What it actually is the angle. My angle of view here, if I go back just a sec, to there. My angle of view here, if I'm trying to look at the top of the tea can, it was just a pot with tea bags in it. I know it looks pretty silly, but if my visual angle of view to that, I can't look over the top of the pepper to see that, because even though that's higher, because it has moved back and change an angular size, when I'm looking up, my angle of view, because of the height of the pepper, my angle of view is actually brings my eye line higher than where the top of the tea container is.
Absolute word salad. Right, where to start? The camera is sat on the table, so the centre of the lens is not level with the absolute bottom of the tabletop. The tea tin is only slightly larger than the pepper pot, when in reality the mountains behind Blackpool Tower are over 4 times taller than Blackpool Tower. And as I said, the pepper is right next to the camera. The whole thing is not to scale. Now, this phenomenon might be or may not be a thing, but to use it as an excuse to discredit the Blackpool Tower photo without doing it to scale is a joke. Do it to scale, Brian, then come back and try and discredit Ranty's photo. I guarantee you won't come back though, because you'll realise you're wrong. Well, there we go. What a wonderful crop of flat earth fails that was. Always love a good flat earth fail compilation video. If you enjoyed it today, then please do like and subscribe. It'd be thoroughly appreciated. Just enough time to once again thank Surfshark VPN for sponsoring today. Remember, surfshark.deal/SimonDan and use my code SimonDan to get a whopping 83% off and 3 months extra free. I've been SimonDan. Have yourselves a great weekend, and I'll see you briefly on Tuesday for the Tinfoil Tuesday special, where we've got a guest creator coming on. See you then.